What's going on, guys, and welcome on in. In today's video guide, let's go ahead and follow up our last penguin leveling revamp tutorial that I made for y'all, and let's cover the new side story leveling. There was a lot of changes made. As you can see here, if you missed it in the patch notes, we now get a goblin or gold dungeon and a Molagor dungeon for every new side story. So big props to Smilegate, another awesome addition they made, as well as the reductions to energy for leveling inside story, and they sort of adjusted the difficulty settings. So we're going to cover that. As you can see here, there's a few different things. Most notably, there is now a limited entry run for hell mode, which I woke up to a lot of kind of, you know, a little bit angry messages from a lot of people. They automatically saw limited entry. That's never fun for anyone. We'll make that clear. But yeah, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's actually overall, this new change, guys, once you adapt to it, it's going to be better than it was before. I'll break it down for you, but real fast, I'm gonna go ahead and put up a chart on the screen. Big shout out to my guildmate Aki. This chart covers both currency gain as well as XP gain per energy spent in the different difficulty modes. Now, if you're not a big math guy like me, you don't care about the super min maxing, I'll go ahead and break down what that means for you and kind of the most efficient path you should take when choosing difficulty, depending on what player you are, etc. Now, that chart does take into account all the bonuses you can get. So let's go ahead before we continue and cover every single bonus that is available that you should have prepared before you start leveling, especially in the side story. Okay? Alright, y'all, let's go ahead and cover all the bonuses that you need to have active while you're grinding these side stories to be the most efficient. Now, in my last penguin video, where we talked about the new method of dog walking or dog walking being obsolete, I chose to leave out these two artifacts I mentioned in the pinned comments, and I wanted my new players not to read it or watch it. But let's go ahead and cover them now because you should know about them. Maybe my veterans that are watching or my returning players, you should be aware of this. If you played or logged in randomly within the last year, go ahead and just double check your artifact inventory if you didn't know about these. There's an artifact called Days of Destiny. This will increase the friendship acquired. And if you remember, guys, especially now with the new side story, because I'm going to show you some footage of my run, the new hell mode difficulty is not easy. They boosted the max level. And the newer you are, it's going to be even more difficult. Even for me, it's not that simple. Like, my units actually get hurt, so I might actually have to run some soul weavers here and there. But max level players, veterans, will still be able to clear it easily. But you are more incentivized to run the method of all max level units. And the bonus of that is we can now pick units that need friendship, because when we get friendship level 10, remember, we get skill enhancements, or if they're already plus 15, we get Molagora. So it's a win-win. You also get bonus friendships, expressions. It's just something nice to farm because now you are incentivized to run max level units because the difficulty spike did increase. Just a heads up. So the number one artifact, Days of Destiny, increases friendship. And the other one I'm going to talk about is, I think Last Rider Crow has it on. It is called To a New World 15% XP bonus. That's the max one. There's another lesser one, but go ahead and use this if you have it. They don't stack. Now, the reason I didn't bring this up, guys, is because if you weren't fortunate enough to be playing at the time, there is no way for you to obtain it. You can't grind it. You can't unlock it somewhere. It is what it is. You had to be playing at the moment of, I believe, the anniversary. It was like an anniversary 7-day login. They gave it during that. You can't get it anymore. Now, I'm assuming next anniversary, whenever that is, they'll bring it back. But until then, what I can do for you guys is in my next meeting with some of the Epic 7 Smilegate guys, I'll bring up if they have any plans to maybe allow this to be obtainable sooner. Maybe through Book of Memories or something, or the Holotrials shop. Maybe just some kind of mode where y'all can obtain it reliably, because it is a very important artifact, and I think it's very, very good, especially for newer players and a lot of their content, you know, all the stuff they're bringing for you guys in terms of leveling efficiency, all this awesome stuff. It'd be cool to have this as well, but until then, guys, just sit tight. It's gonna suck a little bit. You won't have access to it, but those of you that might have it if you were playing last year, double check, because these give huge, huge bonuses. Now, besides those two artifacts, guys, let's go ahead and look at my pet here. I have the event currency, which is in that chart I showed you earlier. This is why you get some bonus currency in that chart. And another one to get if you were looking at getting an adventure pet is, of course, for side story in particular, the extra catalyst. This double AP, even though it says side story, we don't obtain AP in side story, so this is irrelevant. But when you work towards your adventure pet, these are the 3 skills you want. Just heads up. All right. With that being said, those are the bonuses. Let's jump into an actual run. I'll show you some footage, and then we'll talk more about what this means and what kind of runs you should be running to be the most efficient, what difficulty you should be choosing, all right? Okay, guys, now let's talk about the difficulty settings and which one you should be choosing depending where you're at in the game. previously to this new revamp, this new patch, beforehand it was everyone, if you were able to, you clear hell mode because it gave the most currency per run. And then if you wanted the most XP per run and you didn't mind going a little bit slower, you did normal. You kind of ignored easy and hard because they were just not efficient. That is no longer the case, guys. Smilegate kind of streamlined it. Think of it like this. Hell mode now with a 5 out of 5 limited entry. And that is 5 limited entries per side story, guys. That does not reset per day. That is 5 total. Think of this as a new mode. It's more difficult. The mobs are level 90. You get a lot of currency from it, but you can only run it 5 times. Now the hell mode that we previously had is now the hard mode. Just think of it like that. This hell mode is new. Now you kind of want to run the hard mode after you're done with that. This is now the best mode to run. It gives you the most currency per energy spent, and it's where most of y'all will be running. Keep in mind though, guys, for my newer to mid-game players, it is level 78, so depending on what you have, it may still be difficult. Remember, we all kind of want to be running level 60 units, 1 for the friendship, and 2 because of this difficulty spike. So just try your best. If you can't do hard or hell mode, run the highest difficulty you can, that you can run cleanly and efficiently. So if that's normal, so be it. If it's easy, just do that too. But try to work towards clearing 5 hell modes per side story, because this will be the case for every side story moving forward. And then after that, farm hard mode. All right. Okay, guys, after the difficulty settings, let's go ahead and talk about the exchange shop, what you should buy in here, or I guess what changed in here, as well as I have some gameplay footage hopefully running in some part of the screen up there, and I want to talk, just answer a few questions, common comments I saw from the previous Penguin, and just overall comments in general. All right, first off, in the shop, they did add a few new things which are really nice, and in general, boys, I'll just say this right now, you can safely pick up almost everything in the shop, and it's all pretty good value. Let's go one by one though. The catalyst, of course, just like before, you want to pick up all of these guys. My new players, this is very efficient. Instead of having to farm them in the AP stage, you can get them done here in the side story, and take note of all the boosts I mentioned before, right? Giga Phantasms, guys, they're always good, but if you needed to skimp on something, let's say you ran out of time or ran out of energy, I would save this one for a little bit later. Of course, it's really, really nice, especially the newer you are, the more 6 stars you got to build up. You want to grab these to kind of boost you, but it could be saved for later. I value the other things a little bit more important than the Giga. Same thing with the runes, guys. This could be super important if you have fire units like Ilinov or other units you need to be building up right now, Carrot, whatever, Roz. Go ahead and grab these, but what I do personally, once you reach a certain point in the game, you can kind of just wait for the once a month double altar rune events. But just keep in mind, these are good values, so you can pick these up as well. But like the Phantasm, maybe save these for a little bit later, depending on how much currency, how much time you want to spend in here. Artifact charms, guys, buy these, no questions asked. A lot of people neglect artifact charms. They're kind of rare to get. Do not neglect leveling up your artifacts, so pick all of those up. This, I think, is new with the new side story revamp. Greater equipment charm selection chest. Seems like we can get 6 greater charms of our choice. Huge, huge addition. This is really well thought out by Smilegate. Pick these up, guys. This charms, just like the artifact charms, of course, very hard to come by. Pick them up. This is a huge change. I super appreciate it, and I think you guys will too. Last thing to talk about, of course, well, actually, the Mulligore seeds and the Covenant bookmarks. I already bought those. Guys, you don't need me to tell you how dang important these are. You probably buy those instantly. Gift of Bravery, though. Let's talk about this real fast. Beforehand, we got this kind of new, in one of the side story or events, they gave us these things called lanterns that give friendship. This is essentially the same thing, okay? Keep in mind though, guys, I think in the beginning, if you want to rush friendship 10s for expressions, or you just want to grab those skill enhancements early, those potential Mulligora, you can get these. However, I think as time progresses, the more we keep farming and using the new Penguin leveling feature where we're running max level units for friendship, I think this will become less and less impactful. I could see myself skipping this once I have a lot of friendship units done, but it's always a nice pickup. It doesn't seem too expensive. Just keep in mind, guys, that this may be something that we can rather just get through farming instead of buying it here with the currency, okay? Of course, the gold is kind of never buy this gold repeatedly. Just use this if you have any extra left over. Okay, so that's the shop. A lot of new additions. Very, very good stuff. Make sure you have all the boosts that I mentioned at the beginning of the video active so you can maximize your gains for all of it, all right? Side stories are now really, really amazing with all the new changes they made. Now, let's go ahead and look. Hopefully, I have some gameplay footage somewhere on the screen, top right or so, wherever. Let's talk about a few things here, okay? One, another new feature they added is actually Ilinov, or yeah, Ilinov is actually only level 9 in that footage I have there. But if you put her in the front row, she's boosted to level 60. So if you did pull for her, you can throw her in there and she can pull her weight and actually be used as helping you level or complete those hell mode difficulty runs. Now, I know a lot of y'all are going to be asking, Cars, is Ilinov worth pulling? Guys, my thoughts are the same as in my video that I made before she was released, before I picked her up. And I think most other people, most other content creators feel the same. Content creators feel the same for Ilinov. And the long story short is, she's not limited. She's very fun. She has potential to be really good. But overall, she's not going to be a must pick by any means. I will say, though, her injury is actually super effective, unlike Mortelix. And her animations are amazing, guys. She also looks super, super cool. But the fact that she's not limited, the fact that we have collab around the corner means my new players, my free-to-play players skip. My mid-game to end-game players, if you have some extra currency, if you don't mind spending a little bit, pick her up. She's extremely fun, but she's not by any means. I don't think she'll be like top-tier meta, and I don't think she's a must-pull at all. But very, very fun, very good. That's my stance on it, okay? Other than that, guys, last thing I'll mention is if you also notice, I'm running Arbiter Vildred. Now, RB, a lot of y'all left me comments that broke my heart. You're like, Car, I regret picking the RB because you said that dog walking is now obsolete, now fodder. You don't need to farm fodder. I really regret picking him instead of like Spec Tenny, for example. Well, RB and Spec Tenny are still good even if you take away the dog walking feature. But guys, with the new difficulty spike, the newer you are, RB's going to help out big time with that, okay? He's no longer walking dogs, but he's babysitting your other units. He's carrying them. So it's never a bad thing. Even I'm opting for him here because one, he's element neutral, so I don't have to worry about if the units are fire, earth, ice, whatever. He's going to do damage to all of them. As well as, you know, you can build him full glass cannon, full damage on his kit, and he'll still have that built-in survivability in case he randomly gets one shot. Like, unlucky, the enemies target him. He still has the revive feature to back him up, which can proc an additional Alexa's basket. So he's just still very good. Don't let that get you down, guys. Hopefully, you're still enjoying whatever ML5 you locked in. And with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any additional comments, of course, you know I read every single one. Leave any questions you have. And as always, thank you guys so much for the support. I got a lot more videos coming, I said every time, but it's true. I hope to see you on the next one, okay, y'all? Peace out, guys.